Bill, I am super excited about this piece. Okay, so we will begin. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Thursday Flash Club.
Woo! Yeah.
I'm Nina. There's Leah, maybe down there. I don't know where she is with everybody else. There's Bill,
Hello.
and Judy and Jill are here. So Flash Club, we read a flash we love. We talk about the craft, and then we use the mentor text um, as a prompt for some writing. So tonight we are reading safety efficiency measures. I have a story called Safety Measures. I just had a little stroke there. We're reading Efficiency Measures by Matt Kendrick. Let me pull up Matt's bio. Matt Kendrick is a writer, editor, and teacher based in East Midlands, UK. His work has been featured in various journals and anthologies, including Best Microfiction, Best Small Fictions, Craft Literary, Fractured Lit, and the Wigleaf Top 50. He lives with a chronic illness called Trevor. Right, which is great. I should have named my Lyme disease. Because yeah, it deserved a name. It's such a good idea. All right. So efficiency measures. I am so excited for this story. Matt's also on Substack, so you can find him on Substack. He does editorial work. So if you have a rad flash and you don't want Bill or Leah or I to read it, you should reach out to Matt because he's been published in Wigleaf and Fractured Lit, where I keep getting personal rejections and
Yeah.
mid-tier rejections from.
They
So
they don't even send me rejections. They just send me silence.
it's nothing. You're just
I
screaming
just
into
keep
the
missing the
void, Bill.
deadlines. So
All right, so let us read this story together. Let me pull it up. Um, so how about we break it into three? Mom, do you want to be included in the reading? Or are you just going to be quiet? That's fine. I just don't want to exclude you if you want. So, Bill, how about you take the first paragraph through the first list?
Got
Leah,
it.
you pick up the question marks.
cool,
Um, through one, two, three, and then that next paragraph when I have the drop of blood haircut,
cool,
and I'll pick up at one after that
cool.
paragraph.
Sounds good.
Does that work? Okay.
Okay,
All right.
here we go. It's sunrise through mist, and I'm sitting with old woman in the kitchen. My laptop is open on the table in front of me. Old woman is scratching the yellowing nail of her left big finger. When I show her the pictorials on the electronic mirror, she says she doesn't understand any of it. I say, it's pretty simple. She makes face exhaling. Come on, I say, aiming for the patient heart and smiling face with smiling eyes. But still, she insists on using speaking head, words, like a stubborn, inferior horse. What's wrong with her is a stomach bubble. She's had one before. Once I've clicked the pictorials to indicate this, a circle whirls. Do you have a hot face? She shakes her head. How long has the bad body happened? 7 sunsets. The question marks continue from there. It's pretty thorough. Then the circle again. Then the pictorials for drop of blood, test tube. We used to go to a hospital for this, but now we just print the syringe on a 3D printer and do it ourselves. Much more efficient. The circle whirls, the printer prints. The spanner page tells me to
1, press the needle into old woman's arm meat. 2, attach the test tube. 3, pull back. When I have the drop of blood haircut, I have to insert the medical chopstick, also provided by the 3D printer, then scan the zebra rectangle to upload the bar chart bullseye onto my laptop. The circle whirls. The robot doctor churns out bad exclamation marks. In the dinosaur hourglass, this would have meant a long, yawning face, stopwatch, before another bus to the hospital. Now it's a luggage of do it ourselves, much more efficient. The 3D printer, a syringe, a small clamp, a knife, a test tube, a needle. The spanner page tells me to
1. Get old woman lying down. 2. Clean the skin around her stomach bubble with antibacterial soap. 3. Press the needle into her stomach meat. 4. Wait 1 clock cyclone. 5. Make a knife line across the stomach bubble. 6. Use a cloud sponge to mop up drop of blood. 7. Fix the knife line with the clamp. I start to feel woozy face. What's wrong? She asks. I say nothing, but I think how old woman always says pictorials hurt her brain. And in this clock pin, I can understand that. Am I going to die? She asks. This is a grinning, squinting face, question mark. And I do my best to reply with a grinning, squinting face of my own. We all die sooner or later. She rolls her eyes. I look back at the spanner page. 8. Use the knife to cut a peanut from the stomach bubble. 9. Transfer the peanut into the test tube. 10. Repeat pizza segments 8 and 9. By the time I'm finished, I feel faced with spiral eyes. Am I going to die? Old woman asks again. I say, we won't know anything until I can see the zebra rectangle. The circle whirls. The robot doctor churns out bad exclamation marks. It's the same as last time. The alien broccoli has returned. We always knew this could happen. Still, I feel nauseated face. Old woman is looking at me with face holding back tears. Leah, will you finish this out?
said Leah, yes.
Yeah.
Before Old Man wasn't yet a skull, and I remember how he bought new chairs and tables so everything would be sterile. Then he tried to assemble them and got angry face with the spanner pages. The Earth globe has gone to Devil Place in a hand basket. That's what Old Man would be saying in this clock pin. Old Woman says the spanner pages for her medical symbol screwdriver look unfathomably tornado. I say we'll work them out, but I feel face vomiting and face without mouth. Old Woman sees this. She's like Old Man. She sees things before we see them ourselves. So when she says there's too much face without mouth, these calendar cyclones, I nod my head. It was much better, she says, in the calendar cyclones, when the human doctor took you gently by the hand and spoke to you with speaking head words in comforting musical notes.
Mm, wow.
So good.
That's how that experience happens on so many different levels in my brain and in my body.
I
Mhm.
know.
Um, which was so exciting for me. I have it reminded me, I mean, there's a number of really interesting things happening, and we're gonna talk, but I'm gonna just talk. I'm just gonna blab for a minute. When I was a presenter at ICFA,
Hmm.
one of the presentations that I went to was on semiotics, which is the hold on, I wrote it down because I never quite get it right. The meaning created with signs, symbols, and icons. And so it's logographic and pictographic. It's the study of, it's like linguistics as it relates to logographic and photographic symbols. And so I was like, this is so interesting because it is intimating, it's suggesting the emoji, but then it's translating the emoji in back into English.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, like that's so cool. So you have when you read it, like Bill, you started in right away reading it and pausing within the brackets
Yeah,
as though to observe the emoji itself.
yeah.
Um, and I was just how long did it take you guys to realize they were emojis?
So that was my first thing was I thought it was Mad Libs at first
Me too.
because
Yes, me too.
old woman,
Same.
which I cycled back to that because I still think it could be in a lot of ways. Like this is a very like open, relatable piece where you could fill in the blanks in a lot of ways. But then oh, it was face exhaling, I believe. It was when it turned into like a traditional emoji. So it wasn't that far in for me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Smiling face with smiling eyes. I could see the emoji. And then there were on my first read, there was this weird moment where my brain stopped really reading what was in the brackets in a way. Like there's some where he like took some liberties, like
Mhm.
like alien broccoli. Like you just know that it's cancer. Like it was doing this weird translation thing in my head, which was really cool.
Right, like the peanut, and you're like, oh, it's just the image of it's like the tumor.
Yeah, it stopped being a word and not so much the symbol in my head. It was just like this intuition of like, I know what the story is saying here. I don't need the word. I don't need the emoji. I just know they're taking a biopsy of something.
And right, and that's the semiotics. That's
Yeah.
that other language that's happening, like heptapod B in
Yes.
Ted Chiang's Story of Your Life.
Yeah.
And Ted Chiang said something really interesting that made me think as we go through this, and then we can jump right in. But Ted Chiang, I was reading, he posits that the language you speak dictates how you perceive your reality.
Hmm.
And so, as I was kind of thinking about um, uh, logograms, which is what is heptapod B in in Story of Your Life, as it relates to all of time. And so, Mom, these are these aliens that they understand the past and the present and the future as it relates to language. So in knowing in speaking language this way, they have understanding of past, present, and future at all times in the Story of Your Life by Ted Chiang. And I was just thinking about the structure here and what this structure is saying um, about this perception of reality.
I, yeah.
Yeah. And Stefan's here. I hope he read it. Um,
It
and
was
Chip,
also a moment, like just on very surface, there was a moment when my first read through it was a bit like a Rebus puzzle. It was a bit like, okay,
wait,
spanner
wait,
pages. Oh, that must be instructions.
what's
Hmm.
I was like,
I don't know what a Rebus puzzle is.
it's like those kids' books that like every once in a while there won't be a word, it'll be a picture of something, or like those like a Pictionary kind of puzzle that you see like two little drawings, and it's,
Well, like that
there's
whole paragraph of drop of blood haircut and medical chopstick and uh what was I mean, I got zebra rectangle right away, but yeah, there were definitely some points when I was like, wait, what?
right.
But to what you're both saying, it was like I could do one read through and I like understood what was going on, but it was the second read through that I slowed down and I was like, okay, well, I really want to understand what each of these pictures mean, which
Did
was
did you have one that was a favorite?
Zebra
yeah,
rectangle
I love zebra rectangle.
and alien broccoli. Those were my two faves.
It
Mm-hmm.
was interesting that you're so like immediate to understand what alien broccoli meant because the first time I read it, I was like, what the fuck? Like I got it, but like I had to sit there with it and think about the images together.
Yeah. I think I just have probably more personal history seeing that stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. I want to say, um, recently I've been getting more and more ads for doing blood tests at home, which is they're like actual just like you heat up your arm and then you slap something on it and then you like send in your blood. And I've been getting them constantly. And then you told us that we were reading this piece, and that I had that in my head the entire time because I've been on the brink of like ordering it and getting it and doing that. But it freaks me out a little because it's non-human, because I feel like there's a disconnect there, which is what this entire piece is about, right? So
There's no comforting musical notes.
yeah, the hand emoji,
Mm-hmm.
a warm hand.
Stefan, welcome.
Hi,
Hi. Did you get a chance to read before you popped in?
I did, and I've heard a little bit of the discussion, and I have a feel for how it also went. But I want to tell you my impression is that anything. So from some of my other history, things that are in brackets are variables, so they can be something different. Like when we file contracts with our certain business, we sometimes put those variables in a bracket. So I started reading it as, well, okay, what if it didn't have to say sunrise through mist? What could be some other things that would make this story a little bit different? And I'm sitting with, so I think I was immediately a little bit different contextualized. I don't know if anybody else had the same experience, but I then realized, no, this is actually a story and those are supposed to be something different.
Yeah, that was my first note, was that it was like Mad Libs. I thought that maybe I was supposed to be inserting my own experience, which again, I still think that that's possible.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah,
I mean, that's the whole part of the language is that you just take that out and put in something else and then it becomes the new thing. It's like a form letter. Everything I get from Fractured Literary.
Mhm.
Like
All my
yeah.
rejections.
It's like take out Bill's name, put Nina's name in. Right. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, they because they are variables, right?
Yeah.
One, press the blank into blank's blank,
mhm.
right? That
Because
could
clearly there's other parts that are not variables or other parts that are not images, right?
hmm
Press, attach, pull back, like yeah.
Very inevitable.
right. Okay. So so anybody have any thoughts on why he Matt Kendrick didn't tell this story with the emojis? What happens with the because he translates the emojis. What happens with the translation of the emoji? Like, how does that change it?
Well, it puts us into their perspective, and I think even the old woman's like interpretation of these things, she says it makes her head hurt, right? So maybe by interpreting it directly, we can perceive it the way that the narrator and the old woman are perceiving it.
Mm. Oh yeah. I hadn't thought about that because
Maybe it, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, please.
This is just a real hot take, but maybe it's to, in a way, to keep the the distance between this near future and our present as the reader, give it that space. If the emojis were there, it would try to pull us as a reader into the future itself.
Hmm. I'm feeling very emotional right now with you all. Okay. All right. So let's talk about the basics. Uh, Anybody got a hinge for me?
Alien broccoli.
And broccoli is the hinge.
Um,
I,
my
I,
hinge. Sorry, go, Bill. I didn't mean to cut you off.
nah, it might also just be because it's my favorite of the emojis.
I'm trying to see if my hinge is around your hinge.
I know that's what I was just looking for. I was like, wait.
I mean,
No,
that's
well,
for me. That's
that's
when I figured like, oh, this is a sad story. This is where old lady is not going to do well because the alien broccoli has come back.
my hinge is where the tools start coming out. The syringe, the clamp, the knife, the test tube, the needle, because then it goes from like informative to procedural. I think that's how I want to phrase it.
Hmm.
I think
So
it
I
turns to
thought
physical.
because it turns to physical, I could see that. I I was thinking it was where the woman says that pictorials hurt her brain
Mm.
because it kind of brings it, it's like there's this procedure and then it kind of brings it into, it brings her experience into focus. I don't know. Stefan, have you got any thoughts on where it kind of turns?
I think it was closer to where Leah is in that it was a hey, it's a diagnostic. Oh, now we're gonna do the thing. And I think the line for me is we used to go to the hospital for this.
Mm.
That tells me that now this is the different thing. And I almost feel like that the person who our narrator, he's not even like trained to do these things. He's just following directions. And so like he could have been trained to to do the blood test. That feels like a thing that pretty much anybody can do. You can do a small needle, but then to do the procedure, that's like another order of magnitude of trust that you have to have and skill and care. And if he needs to have the instructions for this, that tells me that it's a lot less it's a lot more dangerous at that point.
Hmm. Okay, so we have three different competitors for the
But they're
hinge.
like they're three that are spaced out so perfectly that it could just be a multi-hinge piece very
I mean,
easily.
my arm has a number of them,
Yeah.
right? Because one might be tonal, right? Because
Hmm.
there are tonal shifts here as well,
Mm.
right? And I think that's kind of what I had clued in on. And I think Leah and Stefan, what you guys are cluing in on is like this this massive escalation in kind of reality that is this isn't just a little thing.
It's
Well,
like
and
stakes
also,
just went up.
Yeah,
um, to jump ahead, sorry,
go for it.
I was also trying to figure out what the turn was, and my first inclination was to say that the turn was when the old man is introduced. But I think it's actually when we get to the point where it's like it was much better when there were hands involved. So maybe there's even a fourth hinge, and that's when the old man is introduced.
Um,
So there
Wait,
are
are
many
you saying
hinges.
Flash? Are you talking about Flash or
I
turn?
was talking about Flash
Okay.
because when I first thought about the turn, the Flash, I was like, I think it's when the old man is entering the picture, like this has happened before, kind of a thing.
Hmm.
But then I decided against that. But now I think maybe the old man part is a fourth hinge, is what I'm getting at.
So what resonates? What maybe let's see if we can think about it this way as we come away from the story. What resonates for us?
This idea that efficient isn't always better. Some
Right.
things shouldn't be efficient. Lovemaking and medical procedures.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yep.
There's like it's funny because that last line has a really high concentration of um brackets, the last sentence. So when she says there's too much face without mouth, these calendar cyclones, I nod my head. It was much better, she says, in the calendar cyclones when the human doctor took you gently by the hand and spoke to you with speaking head words in comforting musical notes. So yeah, for me, I think it's that last line is the
Yeah,
flash
I do too.
because that's kind of the punchline for this.
For sure.
I hadn't thought about the concentration of brackets until just now. Like some sentences have so many. Did you guys like calendar cyclones? I was kind of into calendar cyclones.
Confused the shit out of me, and then I got it, and I liked it a lot.
Right, because they make you pause. They're little puzzles.
Mm-hmm.
Rebus puzzles. You're gonna have to look up Rebus puzzle.
Rebus puzzle. Okay.
I'm gonna need a hint on calendar cyclones.
It's the turn like the turning the
It's
date. It's a day. A day goes around. A calendar cyclones.
like times, old
Time.
times, new times,
Oh, okay, okay. Like, oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
these times, those times.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, I get it now.
Um, I will say in terms also of pacing and repetition, I really appreciated how often a circle whirls was put into. I think it was 5 times is what I counted. Like that really helped with the pacing of the story
Mm,
and made us feel like we were waiting with them in a very cold, desensitized way.
mm.
And also much more efficient was repeated over and over again.
This would have been much harder for me if it were written in emojis. Like, I don't
Mhm.
know that I wouldn't have gotten devil plays. Like maybe
I
handbasket.
love
I
that
would
line. That was my favorite line. The Earth globe has gone to devil place in a handbasket. That's what old man would be saying in this clock
Good
pin.
one. I like that one.
Clock pin.
a log pin. Log pin. Okay, so is there anything else that we want to talk? All right, so is this horror?
I didn't see it as horror. I didn't read it as
No,
fearful. I read this as more literary than anything else.
Hmm.
speculative fiction, maybe.
Yeah.
Speculative fiction, almost sci-fi,
Yeah,
literary.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
And so it's like, I don't know what you call it in the medical world, but it's like procedural degradation, maybe.
Mhm.
Um, it's the experience that we have in a phone tree or with the car adjuster, or, it's a system that we are just not part of and we don't know often. I know you're part of the medical system. You two are, Judy, Bill. But it's like, it's like when the
It's
system has its own language that doesn't really include you.
I pictured the narrator with IKEA instructions, just all pictures trying to like, and the one do it all tool.
Well, so that makes it that's a really good point because the narrator even like brings us back into that when the old man is building tables and chairs. that made me so happy because he says spanner pages, and that's what he refers to when he's doing fucking medical procedures on an old woman. I'm like, you're equating it to building IKEA furniture. It was great. Sorry, so good.
It's a great piece, Nina. Thank you.
All right, Stefan, did you have any final thoughts? It looked like you were starting to say something. I don't want to cut you off.
Nope, I'm good.
No. Okay. So thanks to Matt Kendrick for this. Now we're gonna move into the prompt. And so I think we're going to start with the goal here is we'll start with like a tiny task, and then we're going to let the form of what we choose reveal the wound. So this is our goal. So just keep that in your mind, and then we'll start with one. So we're going to pick a process. So like it could be maybe filling out a medical form, it could be filling out a FAFSA, it could be doing your taxes, assembling furniture, right? It could be logging into something, a phone tree. I'm really stuck on the phone tree because those things piss me off so much. Um, and so what I want you to do is right now just pick a procedure, and then I just want you to write 5 to 7 regular sentences about that procedure. They don't have to be fancy, just observational. That's it. Okay, let's take 7 minutes. Okay, has everybody got some sentences? Does
Yes.
anybody, yeah, good. Does anybody find that they have some growing escalation already? Ish. Okay. So this is when we're going to lean on Matt Kendrick's piece because I want you to consider a language constraint. The the constraint, he used the brackets. Um, you don't have to use brackets, obviously, but the constraint might be like the type of language that's used in this institution. So, as an accountant, you might have a particular language. As someone who is in dealing with a medical procedure, there might be a particular language that goes along with that. And so I want you to consider rewriting the sentences from another perspective um, in that language, leaning on that language, and then see if you can bring a character into that language. Does this make sense? So
A little confused.
you probably just had you made some observational sentences, right? I don't know. I'm not sure what perspective you put it in.
Mhm.
But say I did mine in first person. So I would rewrite that from the perspective of the owner of that institutional language. So I would become the chat bot in my phone tree.
Mm.
So it would be a new perspective, and I would own the language of the institution. Maybe you're doing that already. If you are, I'll tell you what the next step is. The next
Okay.
step is I want you to build escalation. So add a numbered list, maybe a repeated phrase, um, uh, like a loading screen, perhaps some nice music, some muzak, um, that might drive somebody crazy. Maybe you're doing that on purpose if you are the institution, if you are the voice of the institution. Um, and so what you want to do is you want to show the conflict between a regular human with feelings and emotions interacting with this experience. And there's a dominant experience, one at which one And that the human is not dominant. The human is not dominant. The system is. The system is winning. Am I making sense? Sorry, this made so much sense to me
I think so.
when I got it all, and I was like, oh, this is going to be such a good prompt. But now that I'm trying to explain it, I'm like, okay. So, so the idea is we're going to do a long right now. We're gonna go for let's take 15 minutes and we'll come back to like three of. And so you're going to want to escalate and you're going to want the human to break through. Okay. System. Bad system.
I think I got it. I
Let's
got an idea. Yeah.
fight for the human. Okay, let's do it. Okay, we'll see you back here in a few. Bye. How did everybody do?
I liked this exercise.
Yeah, did you get something you want to share anything?
Sure. I started out by the process was resetting a password. And then
Ah,
the observations of the person were the first part was the observations, right? The observations are, I don't know why we need a password for this stupid website. It doesn't matter if somebody else hacks me. So what? They're going to get in. It ended up being a blogging website. So then when you told us to reframe, it became this conversation between the bot behind the password and the person who's trying to log in. And we revealed why she wants to log in and she doesn't really want to log in. Anyway, it was fun.
All right. You felt like it escalating?
Yes, it was escalating because it started off with forgotten password, try again, forgotten password, try again, forgotten password, try again. Here's the password conventions. And then we get into this argument of why do I need conventions? Who cares if I log in or if somebody else logs in for me? And then it was apparently a blogging website. Why are you on the blogging website? Because I want to be a writer. Why do you want to be a writer? Because the idea of being a writer and quitting my day job makes me happy. Well, you better log in and practice. It was fun.
That's great. All right, Bill, what about you? Did you get
I
anywhere?
al- I also did password reset.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
yeah, it took me a bit to kind of get the juices flowing, but yeah, I started to get somewhere. My escalation more went with the narrator's self-doubt about their own identity as they kept having to clear the hurdles of password reset and proving they weren't a bot. Um, and I think if I kept going with it, they would like ultimately question whether or not they're a bot themselves.
Cool. Are they a bot? Is it a bot talking to a bot?
It might be. It might. Who knows anymore, right? I don't know.
Right?
That's
Are
the
you
dead
an AI?
internet
I
theory,
might
right?
be. What's that, Seven?
So that's the dead internet theory, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Um, yeah, sorry. Fiona just asked if she could drive the car. Yes.
No.
Take my car.
No.
Take my
No.
car. Bill says no.
There's nothing happening tonight on the island. You should be at home with your mother.
She's picking Sterling up.
Okay, you can take the car.
Yeah, yeah, she can take the car. Um, Leah, how about you?
Um, it was fun. For those that don't know, my husband and I own a pet sitting business. So I get very frustrated because people will contact us when I've very clearly laid out that you need to like fill out the intake form. So I have all the necessary information. So it started with that. It started with like email. Okay, well, can you tell me some information? Blah, blah, blah. But then I turned into a bot instead of an actual person. And then they ask really ridiculous questions, and then it escalates for sure. And then by the end, they're like, all right, procedure's now in progress. And then the client's like, where's my dog? And we're like, we have your dog. All is good. And they're like, you're not supposed to have my dog for months now. We're like, nope, all good. Cannot compute. So we've stolen their dog and they're not getting it back. It's essentially where it ends. Yes.
Well,
It
you
was
have
fun.
you have a full arc.
Yeah. I think I need to change everything about this if I were to publish it anywhere.
Oh, because it wouldn't be good advertising for your
It
business.
wouldn't be, yeah,
A little too
not
on the
good for
nose.
business. Yeah.
Yep.
You're not getting your dog back. It was fun. Thank you.
Yeah, it was
Good.
good, Nina. What'd you do,
Good.
Nina?
I did a phone tree, but then I found myself, I was just like getting so frustrated and annoyed. I was like, I am not, this is not pleasurable for me because I just felt like I was in the phone tree because and then it was like, thank you, goodbye. And I was like, ah, there I am again. Thank you, goodbye. So it's like this whole, the setup is like, the mom who's trying to do it on speakerphone, but of course it never works on speakerphone, but she can't see the buttons and have it up to her ear at the same time. Anyway, it's just like that whole thing of, and she wants to do something nice for her children, her adult children, but she can't.
I wonder how Franz Kafka would have written a story involving a phone tree and cycles and all those kind of things. Like press 5 for this thing, and that would be weird, right? It always takes you back to one. Hmm.
It would
Yeah,
always take.
take you back to one. So true.
Anyway, I think my blood pressure went up during that one. Um, but anyway, well, thank you guys for showing up. This was fun for me. Next week, Leah, are you on for next week? Or
Yes.
you are? Because I still have the other one in the tank.
Or Bill can.
I can get some gum going as well. I don't have anything, but it's
I can too.
probably getting to be my turn.
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll find out soon.
Okay.
TBD.
All right, TBD, but we will be here.
Mhm.
I
Jill and
won't. I'll be on an airplane next Thursday.
oh,
Okay.
well, I hope it's fabulous.
It'll be fun. Going to New York to visit a cousin for a couple of days.
New York, yay. Hey, all right, catch a show for
Okay.
us. Jazz hands.
Mhm.
Okay, bye everybody.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
You're
Jill.
welcome. Ciao, Jill.